Hello, welcome. It's yet again time to start a new world, and this is also a tiny one, just one room, but this might not be quick. So, Godzilla is back, author of Adventurer and Dorio Space Age, and are those the two that I played so far from this author? I think that's right. Anyway, so Eyewalker, harness the boundless power of eyeballs, multi-push blocks, and turn order jank to achieve impossible feats, hard and complex. Alright, so this is the room, not that much in it. Oh, okay. Okay, so I have some idea what this is about. Why does this... Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I need to get over there with everything dead. That's a big gap to cross. We might be doing a... Oh, okay, this is... I have some ideas. So first of all, turn order is going to matter, but for the moment let's pretend it doesn't. I think one of the first actions I want to take will look like this. So then... if this goes off the edge, show me what happens. Yeah, so that's falling at that speed. If I had put something up on top... So, now, sorry, I'll finish the other thought in a second. Well, that won't tell me anything. How would that get any further than... Okay. Alright, so what's the order that I need for it to fall slowest? Let's stack these all up in the slow falling order with one on top of them. So it's the multi-push block. The higher one needs to move first. Okay, so I'm putting just one block on. All of these unallocated ones will do just fine. So if that's where I'm starting, then I want to do it in this order. Okay. Yeah, so earliest is highest. Yes. Make a little stack. Oops. No, these are all gonna have to die. Maybe they'll go in the pit. I'll probably sit there and kill all of them, because I gotta get... Even after I reach this, I still have to be elevated a bit. Okay, yeah, so how many twists and turns are there gonna be here, I wonder? I don't know how tall I want this tower, but I'm just going to make it as tall as possible first. Let's see where that gets me. I do enjoy how simple the phrasing of this problem is. There's just very few elements here. Just a couple. And a rather impossible looking prospect. Alright, so that's a full height tower. So let's try putting these in this order. Push them all along. Well, isn't that magical? Problem is... doesn't go any further. I probably needed 2 separate stacks. 3 separate stacks, actually? Okay. Okay, that's promising. Let's try 3 separate stacks, but otherwise similar setup. Yeah, so I kind of see the suggestion here. With the way these are spaced out, this just kind of works naturally like that, doesn't it? Now, I might not want to ultimately go in exactly this order. Let's try with 2 stacked up like this. You go there, you go there, you go here. So with this setup, I don't know if the order horizontally matters, it probably does. Well, look at that, okay. So if I just put them all together, alright, so if this is all it's gonna take, then that's not so bad. If. Now, I'm gonna celebrate early, but I think this might be the correct setup. So then, let's just put these in the order they're already in. And try it out. I want a 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, not 2, 2, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, not 2, 2, 2. The relative order of the 3 stacks, I don't know if it matters. I put them in... oh boy, what did I do? CFI, DGH, EHK. So the fastest moving ones were in front. Okay. Fastest moving in front. Fastest moving in front and on bottom. So that means the order I want to go would be... front and on bottom, like this. You, right? I think so. A little hard to keep track. Is it 1, 2, 3, or is it like 1, 1, 4 that I want? I don't know. Well, this is my 3. Let's try 1, 2, 3. So then that's this one. That one. And you're ready to go. Lastly, final one. So theoretically, that might just do what I want. I put that stack in the wrong order. EHGF, I wanted... or, okay, CBA top to bottom. I wanted ABC top to bottom. Yeah, fastest on top. Right, yes. I did what I meant to do, but I meant to do the wrong thing. What I should do is, yeah, so fastest on top means left goes first. Alright, left to right, not right to left. Uh-huh. So that should be this stack correctly phrased. Any of these will work. Probably, I hope. So then, you next. So mostly just in the natural order that things would go. If I'm doing the right thing. I'm not sure yet if I am. Yeah. Okay. Let's see this. So we got Angry Eye, A, B, C, D, E, F. Alright, I think that's what I wanted. Good. 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 Okay. Well, that was magical. And that's how it was meant to be. Alright, I did it. Can I explain what was happening there? Kinda? Alright, that wasn't so bad as it turns out. So, so I've gone over this in previous videos, but just for the purpose of what's going on here, let's go toward the end. So this setup here, multi-push block CFG, Angry Eyes A, B, C. So there's also the extra wrinkle of, okay, so what's on the bottom? Multi-push block H, or sorry, let's go by number. Multi-push block 8, 10, 11, 2, 1. Okay, so clearly the order of the ones down here doesn't matter. Unless the last two do. Now, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. Just to see, if I swapped the order of these, would this still work? Yes, okay, so seems that stopped there. That did affect something. Yeah, so multi-push blocks sliding against each other on ice has some iffy behaviors. A little bit inconsistent. I mentioned this before, I have an implementation of the sliding behavior that corrects that to be consistent in all directions and orders. But that's not what's currently in the game, and because of this... Well, this is a real good test world to see if my fix is compatible with stuff like this. But that would be on the level of behavior change like fixing the Chimera bug. And I've talked about what the plan is for that several times, so I won't go over it again here. But anyway, so the important thing is that so all of these slide. This one is no longer sliding, but it gets bumped into by... Well, this is the first one that processes. Let's see, how is it if a multi-push block is on ice and it's sliding against another push block in front of it? I think it reaches out and checks if that thing is moving, and if it is, it just... I'm not sure what it does in that case, actually. But in any case, it does whatever is necessary so that both can slide smoothly forward as one unit. So everything that is on the ice, that is tightly packed together, moves as though it's one unit. So it's like a rigid body of 4 things is pushing forward here. So they slide forward, and move this thing that currently has hang time to the right. Now, why does that currently have hang time? So this strange behavior is I discovered it while I was playing Adventurer, and it's just a consequence of when gravity is applied and how. So in this turn right here, what's happening? Multi-push block H. Okay, so first of all 5 of these slide to the right as a unit, in essence. At the moment when multi-push block H, this one right here on the bottom, slides here. Well, it doesn't do anything. The rest of the slides process. So at some intermediate point in the turn, this entire structure, exactly as it is with nothing falling off, is moved 1 tile to the right. So once all of the slides have been done, with the whole structure to the right, then things decide when and how to fall to apply gravity to themselves. All push blocks always are earlier in the turn order than any monsters. The monster's turn order I don't think is relevant, it just sort of acts as a buffer between multi-push blocks. So the fact that these are monsters isn't super relevant. It just has to be something that is not a multi-push block. And why is that? It has to be something that dies instead of falling, I think? Okay, hang on, so let's go over the process. So, this whole thing shifts over by 1. Multi-push block A applies gravity. It's on solid ground, so nothing happens. Multi-push block B applies gravity. It's on solid ground, so nothing happens. Multi-push block C at the top of the stack where Leaf is standing applies gravity to itself, or allows gravity to be applied to it. It sees that there's something solid under it, so it does nothing. So that's 3. Number 4 sees something solid, so it does nothing. 5 sees something solid, so it does nothing. It doesn't look any farther down than immediately below. Number 6, F here. Same process, sees a solid angry eye it's standing on, does nothing. That was 6. Then number 7, multi-push block G. Sees a solid angry eye under it, therefore does nothing. Multi-push block H, number 8. That one has something to do. It is over an open pit. So it says, I am falling in the pit, which means I'm playing the falling animation, I'm removing myself from the game. Everything that is on top of me gets instantly carried downward by 1. Does the angry eye die at that point, or does it wait for its turn? I'm gonna have to check this, let me make sure I'm saying the truth. Okay, yeah, so I have a clearer picture of this now. I reviewed everything that was going on. Everything I've said so far is accurate. So we are at the point where multi-push block H has deleted itself, spawned an animation at its location, and carried everything that's on top of it 1 elevation level lower. So there's now an angry eye hanging over the sky. Multi-push block on it, angry eye on that, multi-push block on that, angry eye on that, multi-push block on that, leaf on that, all at 1 elevation level lower than you see here. So then multi-push blocks continue processing, none of them are directly over a pit, so nothing happens. Then monsters start processing. So first angry eye is A here, it sees that it's on a multi-push block and nothing happens. When I say starts processing, I mean the post-advanced gravity step is what it's called, so late turn gravity. There's an early gravity and a late gravity, and this all happens in late gravity. So right, angry eye A has nothing to do because it's on a block. Angry eye B has nothing to do because it's on a block. Angry eye C is directly over the sky. So to be technically accurate, it is vulnerable to the pit and water hazards. The hazard vulnerable component on the angry eye sees that the tile that is immediately under it carries the hazard of pit. And, okay, so what exactly happens there? Okay, hot hazard, processing. If elevation is greater than 0, none of those can process, but it's not, so this is the code path it'll take. Okay, so if vulnerabilities match, which they do. Well, in any case, there's a little tangle of code there, but it eventually results in the Angry Eye saying, "A hazard that kills me has been applied, so therefore I am going to die now, and spawn, a little poof at my location. More accurately, dispatch an event that the view will pick up and spawn the poof there. The eye itself doesn't do that. So it dies, dispatches the event, and looks at everything on top of itself and carries it downward by 1. So then, those are the two that had the opportunity to see a pit under them during that turn. No one else does anymore, because the post-advanced gravity step for everything that is on top of Angry Eye C has already run for the turn, and it's not going to rerun. The chain of events stops after the downward carry. So at this point, the bottom multi-push block has deleted itself and carried everything down by 1. The Angry Eye that was on top of it, which is later in the turn order, it's 8 and 14, so 14 is greater than 8. 14 has deleted itself and carried everything on top of it down by 1. So Leaf, his block, the Angry Eye, its block, the Angry Eye, and its block have all been carried down by 2. But then, we get to processing order number 7. Multi-push block G has already fully applied its gravity, seen that it's on Angry Eye C, who has not deleted itself yet, and therefore stops processing for the turn. And that is why this is in stable hang time on Leaf's turn, where nothing else happens. Okay, so now these move as a unit and push this on, well, I would say a frictionless surface, but no friction is relevant here. This is not ice, which just means that this block does not end up sliding, but it does get pushed by the things that are sliding. So right, everything moves as a unit, this gets pushed over here, and just as described, as long as I have the numeric discontinuity, like, okay, so ascending turn order numbers will all fall at once in that same step. If the discontinuity between like 9, 14, 8 means that, like, if the turn order number goes down, that's when that chain of events stops. So I need rising, falling, rising, falling, rising, falling. But I guess there's a special case for... Why is there a special case? Why doesn't it just fall one at a time if it's a whole stack of push blocks and there are no monsters in between? Let me investigate that and see if I can explain it. Alright, so here's where I get to learn something. I had not actually realized why this was the way that it was until just now. So push blocks specifically, which includes multi-push blocks, they're the same entity just with a different bit set on them. So any kind of push block, when something immediately on top of it is carried downward... No. When something immediately on top of it, yes, is carried downward by it disappearing in a pit, not in water, because that creates a stepping stone. So if specifically a push block disappears in specifically a pit, whatever entity is immediately above it in elevation gets an extra instant recursive call to its post-advanced gravity step. So that turn step may apply multiple times for the same entity. So it recurses upward, therefore whoever is currently falling in the pit basically acts as being earlier in the turn order than what's above it. But, importantly, that is only a push block behavior. Monsters, when they die and carry things downward that are on top of them, do not do this. Then why does a whole stack of monsters die at once when it falls? Does it? Okay, now let's check this. So, I don't know what I was testing here. This was a while ago. Well, let's not erase it, whatever it was. Maybe I'll remember and decide it's really important for something. So a whole stack of monsters. Well, I can't construct a stack that is not in... that's in top to bottom order of just monsters, can I? Yeah, that's in bottom to top order. So if these were in the opposite order... which is something that I currently don't have a way for the editor to express, but if they were, then I think they would fall in that same manner, right? So here's a pit. Oops, I didn't want to erase that. Here's a pit, and you fall in all at once only because you are in bottom to top order instead of top to bottom. Based on what I just read, I'm pretty sure if these were in top to bottom order, they would fall in the slow way, just like we saw there. Currently, the only way to set that up is buffering with blocks. I wonder if you could, like, chimera it somehow. There's probably some tricky way to do that. Yeah, so if you telescope... I can set up a telescoping situation here. Somehow. Let's see. How will I do this? So here are some waypoints. This one will have a pillar on top of it. That will be there. Here is some ice. Oops. Here's some ice. Let's put a stack of push block, angry eye, angry eye. And then here, push block, angry eye, angry eye, angry eye. Then here's a door. Here's a switch for the door somewhere. There we go. So if I activate this, push that, teleport here, chimera those together, and then telescope, what order do I get? 10, 13, 9, 12, 8, 11. Okay, yes, so this is an interesting order. So that interleaved the order, and these are going to go down. Instead of all at once like those, they'll fall gradually, right? Yeah. Sort of. In two different units. 7, 4, 8, 5, 9, 6. Okay, right, so 7 is erased by the push block because it's already had its post-advanced gravity called. Yeah, so the push block actually kills Angry Eye G. Then D, which is 4, hangs there for a moment. Then why does F die in one step? Wait, so what I said was only partially true and like in a really weird way. So, wait, no, there are 6 here. So they die in units of 3? Okay, so who's left? F-I-E. Yeah, F-I-E. Seven, 4, 8, 5, 9, 6. So starting at G, that's earlier, later, earlier, later, earlier. Okay, so part of this makes sense. Ah, I think it's because of the other... So I mentioned that there are 2 different gravity advancing steps. What if I stack this taller? Okay, so what's the other one? So if I look at Angry Eye here. So there's post-advanced gravity, but there's also the other advanced gravity. No, that would be advanced hazards, which is between advanced gravity and post-advanced gravity, and some other stuff probably. So there's a hazard evaluation step and a gravity evaluation step. And since pit is a hazard, it kind of gets evaluated twice during a turn. So if I do this, got a real big stack. So 14, 8, 15, 9, 16, 10, 17, 11, 18, 12, 19, 13. So, oops. So it's like a zipper of turn orders. So right. I is on top, J is on bottom. So E is now on bottom. So J, D, and K all died. Then when I wait one more, N is now on the bottom. Yes, that makes sense. So during this turn, Advance Hazards kills Angry Eye E and moves L into the hazard spot. L is later than E, so Advance Hazards then processes and kills L and moves F into the hazard spot. Then Advance Hazards is done. Then Post-Advance Gravity, which also evaluates the pit hazard, happens later on F at turn order 2. F dies, moving M into the spot. M does Post-Advance Gravity and dies, moving G into the spot. Then G is earlier, so I think G ends up being the bottom one. Yes, and also there's the start of an I-beam there in between, which made me not understand what was happening. Okay, got it. So there are that many left. So then by that logic, just Angry I alone should be left after this turn? Yes. Okay. Okay. So if anybody wanted to know about the innards of that, there you go. That's your explanation. That's why this happens as it does. And I'm going to say I don't see any reason to change this behavior. I'm pretty happy with it as it is. It's okay for there to be some quirks of the turn order system if you get that deep into it. Yeah, so I do not desire any changes here in any way. Okay. Okay. So, that's how Eyewalker works, and the world is done. So, alright, next time, not sure what we're doing, but it'll be something.